Sniper attack on Dallas ICU facility leaves 1 dead, 2 wounded. Shooter identified. Dallas, Texas. Early on Wednesday morning, a gunman opened fire from a rooftop onto a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) facility in Dallas, resulting in the death of 1 detainee and critically injuring 2 others before the suspect took his own life, authorities say. Chronology of the attack. The shooting occurred around 6:40 a.m. local time, when a lone gunman fired indiscriminately at both the ICE building and a transport van in the facility's Sallyport, a secured entry area, from a nearby rooftop or elevated structure. All 3 victims were detainees being transported in the van. 1 was killed at the scene, the other 2 were critically wounded and rushed to hospitals. No law enforcement officers or ICE personnel were harmed during the incident. After the shooting, law enforcement responded to the adjacent building where the suspect was located. The suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound before officers could apprehend him. Identity and possible motive. The suspected shooter has been identified by several law enforcement sources as Joshua John, 29. Investigators recovered unspent shell casings at the scene, one of which reportedly bore the inscription "YNTIC" in marker or pen, suggesting an ideological or political motive. The FBI is treating the incident as an act of targeted violence. Authorities have not yet confirmed any direct affiliation between the shooter and organized extremist groups, though the anti-ICE marking raises significant questions about what drove him to act. Reaction and broader context. Department of Homeland Security officials condemned the shooting, calling it vile and motivated by hatred toward ICE. Political figures reacted swiftly. U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and others called for restraint in public discourse regarding immigration enforcement, citing the possibility that violent rhetoric may fuel real-world attacks. Some observers view this attack in the context of rising tensions around federal immigration enforcement and the increasingly polarized political environment in the United States, uncertainties, and ongoing investigation. The identities of the detainee victims have not yet been publicly released, though one of the wounded has been confirmed as a Mexican national, with the Mexican consulate offering diplomatic support. Investigators continue to review surveillance footage, digital communications, and the suspect's background, including social media, to better understand his motive and whether any broader conspiracy or influence existed. The timeline of how the shooter accessed vantage points, selected targets, and evaded detection for a period remains under close scrutiny. This tragic event underscores the volatile intersection of political rhetoric, national security, and human lives, particularly in the contested space of immigration enforcement. As more details emerge, they may shed light on whether this was a lone act motivated by extremism or part of a larger threat vector.